Hi, everybody. You're listening to the podcast For the Love of Reading, sponsored by Highlights for Children. I'm Christine French Cully, Editor-in-Chief of Highlights and your podcast host. Thank you for joining us today. Our goal with this podcast is to shine a spotlight on inspiring people who love to read and who are doing new and interesting and sometimes surprising things to help nurture in others a love of reading for fun, for pleasure. Usually I'm talking to adult guests on this podcast, but today I am thrilled to be talking to a 13-year-old, Danay from readingheart.org, a 501c3 that Danay started. Danay is the youngest entrepreneur ever registered in Fresno County, California. And Danay started this nonprofit to help get books in the hands of kids who want to read but who have limited access to books. She is a self-described bookworm with a lot of passion for reading, so get ready to be inspired. Danay, welcome to the podcast, and thank you for talking to us today.
Well, thank you for having me here with you.
Well, let's get started by just hearing you tell us what readingheart.org is.
So, Reading Heart is, like you said, a nonprofit organization. And what we do is that we go to schools and we hand out books there. And we also hand out books to kids in underserved areas as well as hospitals.
And you started this. This was your idea, your thing. What motivated you to do this?
My motivation was really my own love of reading and wanting to share that passion with other people.
Yeah, we readers are kind of that way, aren't we? We like to talk about books, like to talk about what we're reading and put other people on the path. So from what I've read about readingheart.org, it seems to have sort of two prongs, if you will. There's this free book distribution arm. And then now you have this website that's full of wonderful videos of kids reading some of their favorite books. Let's talk a little bit about the free book distribution arm for a moment. How many books have you given away, and how do you do it?
So we have given out at least 500,000 books, and we give...
Whoa, 500,000 books?
Yes.
That's incredible. Congratulations. Keep going.
We give those books out to mostly kids in elementary school. And what we do is that we go to the elementary schools and we give out this big assembly. It's like a little concert. There's dancing and music, and it's fun. And the kids enjoy it. And at the end of the show, all the kids leave with a book in their hands.
That's amazing. And so where do you get the books? How do you acquire them?
So we get our books from our community or the community that we work in. Locally, we have people call us and we are able to go and pick up the books in there, or they're able to go and drop off books in our donation centers. And even if they're not local, they can still send us books by shipping them to us, or they can go onto our website, readingheart.org, and give us a donation so that we can buy more books.
And then when you distribute the books, you have what you call a book party. Is that right? Is that what the book parties are?
Yeah, we call it our little book party. We always have some music playing and we sort out our books from age range.
So how do the kids respond to receiving a book? What reactions do you get from the kids?
Well, the kids are all happy about it because in our book tour, we have a lot of music and we will have the teachers dancing and we talk about reading, but without them really, with it being in a fun thing. And as a part of the book tour, we also shoot out t-shirts and we confetti the teachers. And it's a fun thing and all the kids are happy about it and they all leave with their little books.
So, Danay, when you're on a book tour and you're passing out free books to kids, is that really all you're doing is just giving kids a free book to read? Or do you feel like you're doing something a little more?
Well, we have this thing to where we give them a challenge and they have to read and share. And it works by when they're done reading their book, they pass it on to a friend. And it's like creating a little library in the school. So, like, say a school has 500 kids. If each kid reads and shares, each kid gets a chance to read 500 different books. And we also add prizes into this. We give out Menchies, Pump It Up, No Surrender, and plenty of other things to get the kids more excited about reading and sharing.
That's great. That's kind of a pass it on ripple effect. That's wonderful. When the pandemic started and we all started sheltering at home, I imagine those activities had to stop.
They did.
And it looks like you moved to doing something else to promote reading. Tell us about that.
Well, when the sheltering happened, we moved to reading books online, and we posted those videos on YouTube and on our website so that way kids could come and still get lost in a good book. And we're planning on expanding that so that way kids from everywhere can read a book and send the recording to us, and we can make a video out of it.
There are some fun videos on your website. You use puppets sometimes. And I noticed that one of the readers read a book and she was holding her pet bunny.
Yeah. Usually my little sister Danielle is the puppet, and she's always doing this weird little thing to make it interesting and fun.
So readingheart.org definitely sounds like it's a whole family endeavor. Can you tell me or tell our listeners what role your parents play in this? And you have several siblings, and besides being a puppeteer, I know that they do some other things to keep this show going. Tell us a little bit about the family.
So my mom is our organizer and our marketing person. She helps us with organizing our books, and she also takes care of all of our marketing. Our dad is our go-to guy. If we ever get stuck with something, we can always go to him for help. And he's also our driver. He gets us from point A to point B, and he always makes sure all the books get distributed. As for my little sisters, Danielle is the vice president. She takes care of things if I can't be around, and she also helps out with our book tour. She'll be the one shooting out the confetti and also handing out books to the kids. Dana is the vice president. She's still learning how to go from kid mode to business mode, but she's doing well on that. She helps us out in the book tour as well by starting out the party, and then she'll go in the back and do her own little thing.
And what are the ages of these vice presidents?
Danielle is 11 and Dana is 7.
And then you are the big boss. You are the founder, and you are the person who runs the show. Is that right?
Yes.
Tell me what you do.
Well, when I'm not on stage also talking about what I do, I'm usually making our agendas for our board meetings. I'm running the meetings and making sure things don't go too out of hand. I help out with our books and organize them, and when I need to do something like meet up with our lawyer, or other thing, or other people, I also help sign the paperwork.
Sounds like you have lots of responsibility. When you say you run the board meetings, are you talking about your youth board?
Yes.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about that? How many kids are on your board?
So there are 13 kids in total, and our ages range from the youngest to 7, the oldest to 14. And they each have their own role. We have like a secretary, a treasurer, our people person, and they each help us out and they each help us out and help us grow.
And I was really interested in the qualifications a board member must have to be selected. Share the qualifications of a youth board member.
Well, you have to love to read. You have to be willing to give back to your community, and you have to have a 3.0 GPA. If you can't keep that up, you can't be on the board.
That's pretty incredible. You must have an amazing board of young people who are really passionate about what you're trying to do. So you guys are all really busy, but you must still find time to read. How do you do that? When do you read?
Well, I read in between shows, on long car rides, or I read at night, and the parents don't like that.
The old flashlight under the covers trick? Yeah, I did that too. I think most avid readers did and do. So, how did you develop your love of reading?
I don't know. For as long as I can remember, I've always loved to read. That's always been my main thing. The reason why my love of reading developed might have been because my parents have always read to me a lot when I was younger, but I really don't know. I can tell you why I love to read now. It's because I can easily get lost in a good book and I can imagine myself in the story. And I can get attached to the characters and sort of feel what they're feeling. And I can also learn new things when I want to.
Yeah. Why do you think books are essential in the lives of kids? Why are you doing this?
Well, books are important because, if you don't know how to read, it's a lot more difficult to do things. Like in school, a lot of things are about reading. You can't really take a test, work on a computer, or really work on much. So you can't be as successful as you would want to be.
What advice would you have for parents and grandparents and maybe teachers who want to help kids develop a love of reading?
I would say make it fun. Let us sort of choose how we want to learn the book, because then we'll actually want to learn it.
Good advice. What are you reading now?
Right now, I'm reading a book called A Dance with Dragons, and I'm not that far into it, so I can't really explain how it is. But I would recommend reading it, because so far it's really good.
That's great. What future ideas do you have for readingheart.org when the pandemic is over and things are a little bit back to normal? Do you have any new initiatives or additions to the program that you're thinking about?
So we just recently got donated a publishing company with all the machinery needed. And what we were planning on doing was having kids write their own books, and they could send it to us and we could print them out and publish them.
So you're going to be a little printing press as well.
Yes.
Have you written any stories yourself yet?
I am writing one, but it's difficult.
Writing is difficult, yep. The advice we give to writers, especially young writers, is always read a lot. And you're already doing that, so you're on your way to becoming a good writer, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Well, this was a wonderful chat. I'm so glad that we know you, Danay. I know we had featured you in highlights a year or so ago. You were one of our gallant kids, and it's really been a pleasure to talk to you. If anyone is interested in learning more about readingheart.org, they can visit your website, and they can also visit our show notes here. And we will have some information there about how to donate to readingheart.org if you want to help get books into the hands of kids who need them. Thank you so much. Keep reading, keep writing, keep doing all the neat things you're doing. You're a wonderful young woman with a bright future.
Thank you, and I will.
Take care.
You too.
For show notes and information about other episodes in our podcast series, visit us at loveofreading.highlights.com.
It was such a good book and I was so into it that I just wish there was another page to read.
Hey parents, find more great videos on Highlights for Grown-ups, the channel that helps you help your kids be their best selves.